Hi, Sujith. I'm going to give you some feedback on your student portfolio. Now, one thing I noticed is that you link outside of this to all these activities, which on the one hand is fine, but really all I want here is a link to the home activity, which I believe is this one here. And I'll take a look at that. So you've got the challenges here, you've linked them, and you've got your references. So you completed that part. And then I've got to sort of search through and try to find something of your reflection, or is your reflection here? Copy and paste the summary chat, but ensure. Okay, so is this. Okay, yeah, here's your reflection here. We can just call this reflection without the underline. You can understand why underline is confusing for me because I'm thinking this is um, a link and it's not. So here's your reflection. It would help me if this was tighter. You got the spacing is off a little bit here. So it should be something like that so that I can see this a little more easily. It's tight because anyway. So you've got your um, wow, a lot of linking here. You pursued all these. You got your specific tasks and give a very very detailed reflection. So I really appreciate that. So I would say this is A quality work for sure. A to A plus quality work. You've got the topic here, and this is something the role of artificial intelligence and publishing opportunities and ethical challenges. So you have the link to the project, so that's kind of helpful. Um, and this is a paper that you've looks like you're writing. Um, you're gonna have to, you're, I guess you get double spacing here. Preliminary, okay, so that's your search of your sources, okay, and then Article 2, and you reviewed, and Article 3, okay, looks like you're kind of just summarizing things, which is, this is your structure. So this is going to be a big project for you, right? This probably will be the one and only project that you will doing if you're going to do this. Um, okay, so that's the link to the project. That helps me. And then you've given a good description. These are very detailed reflections, so that's well done. I've given you some feedback here, and you clearly have added more. And yes, okay. So you've given me some feedback there on that. Um, That's your in-class contributions are really solid. This is the resource link. So you're keeping your resources in another place. You have found a number of resources. Those are more than enough for all the weeks, so you will get credit for that. And I think is this also the same link? It probably is. Oh, that's a link to week 1 activities. Okay. So you can see how it's a little bit difficult for me if I had to do this for because now I have to kind of search for your activities. This is your activity there. And those are the semantics, and then your sources. Okay, this is pretty exceptional. I appreciate the level of detail and hard work that you put into this. So well done. And I think I gave you some feedback on this before, but this is very detailed. The same, I'm assuming that's the same link to the project. Yeah. So hard to tell your weekly, but you're keeping track of your weekly contributions here. That's a very detailed reflection. Thank goodness you don't have to do those after week 5 now, I suspect. That's your article. Those are 3 solid contributions here. Now we look at 3, which I probably haven't seen at this point. There's your information literacy skills. And then you've kind of done a nice little summary here, which is great. And then if we go back to your portfolio, you are looking at all these. Oh yeah, you're looking at all these little things. You're very good. Okay. Yeah, all very solid reflection. Appreciate that. A plus quality work. I'm very happy with that. And then the role and then you've got this project that you're still working on. I don't think that's a different link, right? That's the same one. You're at 10 pages, so I imagine that's progressed as you've moved along. Might be good to date it on the paper. Detailed reflection in class. That's more than enough reflection. And then you've got, it's created some images. Let's just take a look. Curious. Okay, that's the activity that we were doing. And then those are all the activities for week 3. We have week 4 now. And let me just see what's going on week 4. Tool evaluation, which is what I'm looking for. And you did DIFIT. Okay, so I'm curious about that. That's a very thorough evaluation. So well done. Okay. So you seem to be quite comfortable with DIFIT. So that's fantastic. You're learning a lot here. And you've given a very good reflection here. And your project here, reviewed, organized themes, literature. That's a really good breakdown here. And I'm just trying to think what the final product will look like at this stage. And those are strong in community contributions. You've given your guides and tools. No more, no, we don't need any more up till that. So up to week 4, this is A plus quality work. And notice I've changed some of these things. So just link document you produced here. That's all I want. I don't need a link to all your activities, just a link to that document and then a reflection and more of an open-ended Gen AI reflection as opposed to that long detailed reflection. We don't need to do that anymore. I would like to know where you're at in your project because at this stage, I see a long document, relatively unformatted, and I'm not sure what the end goal is on that. But otherwise, well done.